So you're on the bargaining team. What's the mood like when people ask, is a deal going to get done? Being on the bargaining team, do you see a deal getting done?
We've been making a lot of progress pretty much since we went out on strike. That seemed to be what the mayor and her staff were waiting for, was for a strike for them to start moving things into gear. So I feel like a deal is on the horizon. And on the horizon, is that in days, weeks? It's hard to tell because negotiations can speed up and then slow down, and a lot of it is waiting on proposals. We've had some agreements, but also at this point where there's still some outstanding issues that we need to nail down. 300,000 students are out of classes. You typically every day are in the classroom, you're with your students. So what does it feel like to be not in the classroom, actually out on the street? It's absolutely awful. I would say that, the fact that we have the solidarity in the streets is a very motivating factor. Yeah. I really miss my students. I teach Chicago history and civics, two classes that I love. I have amazing students. I miss all 150 of them every day. Before we went out on strike, they all told me that they stand up for us. One of the students relayed this anecdote to me about how she has a number of allergies and there's never been a nurse around when she's had an allergic reaction in the school. So I told her that this is, a fight that we have for her and for other people in her situation, because every student deserves, the quality care workers, small class sizes, and experienced teachers. One of the things that has been mentioned and was a point of contention is salary. And so teachers, you were offered a 16% raise increase over 5 years. The teachers union rejected it. How important is an increase? How expensive is Chicago to live in as a teacher? Chicago's very expensive, and that's part of the reason why one of our bargaining demands was about affordable housing, not just for ourselves, but for our students. We want to have we want rent control. Like in Illinois, rent control is illegal. We want the Chicago Public Schools to be a partner with us, since we're all working with the same students to alleviate these problems and make sure that our students aren't shifted around the city. But to talk about pay, really one of the big sticking points is the fact that the mayor is insisting upon a 5-year contract and wants to increase our healthcare in those final 2 years. And that's just, we have so many members with illnesses, catastrophic illnesses, sick family members, and it's really critical that we keep healthcare affordable for everyone. How do the bills add up for you? Well, my wife has metastatic breast cancer, so our medical bills are really high. They're not the average, and that kind of worries me when you start hearing numbers about capping off coverage and things like that. We really need to have those costs controlled. In the last contract, our healthcare has gone up quite a bit in the final years, to the point where you're choosing whether or not you're buying medication or going on vacation, or groceries for some people, and that shouldn't be the kind of decisions that we're making. And you bring that stress into the classroom. And our students are definitely feeling the same kind of stress with their medical bills and their housing insecurity. And it's created a very traumatized school system. And we're hoping with this contract to reverse some of that the damage.
Teachers and organizers saying they hope the strike will push the city to allocate more resources for their schools and their classrooms. Alexa Liotta is live now in Chicago.